What is the American Futharch? Why is it?
First, in my own approaches with like carving rune staves as runic spells, I tended early on towards language formulas. And I especially liked doing these in the older language because then you could have a very direct correspondence between the way it was spoken and the runes you wrote for it. If you're writing a word in Proto-Germanic that's maybe about 4 to 8 runes or something, it's very direct which runes you write for that. There's no guesswork. So there's a very exact correspondence to spelling and sound. And then like similar for Old English, and I tended to write some compositions in Old English that way. I particularly liked that way of writing because that effectively comes down to how it originally worked. These ancient rune masters didn't have dictionaries. They had to go completely by the sounds of the words they were going to write and then the sounds of their runes. And so I never did much in modern English inscriptions because I knew how badly things corresponded. If you try to use Elder Futhark for modern English, you run into a lot of difficulties there, and you end up treating a lot of the sounds of the language as second-class sounds. Like at the beginning of the word fee or fehu, I mean, you clearly have a rune there if you can use that rune for it. But then if you try to write the word ship using Elder Futhark, then you have to resort to things that ultimately treat that as a second class sound, whatever combination of like 2 runes you try to do it with, or maybe someone could have made a dotted Sewillow rune, but I didn't think that was an appropriate approach.
So it would come out to be like sip
Mhm.
instead of ship.
Yes. The way we spell things in modern English, that conditions us to think certain ways about how the sounds actually work. And some of these are passably accurate. Many otherwise are completely off the mark. So I wanted to write more inscriptions in modern English just as exactly as the ones in Old English or Proto-Germanic.